Boom, we're back, and today we have two white belts, everybody's favorite thing to see on the channel, two white belts doing no-gi. We have Cody, the wrestler, on the left, and we have Joe, the other white belt, on the right. Let's see how they do in this role today. They're both starting standing, and Cody immediately goes for a throw-by. He's going for the throw-by to set up some motion for his wrestling. However, Joe does a nice job countering with an underhook. Cody is trying to keep Joe engaged with another 2-on-1 grip, but Joe is pushing in the face. Not really allowed in wrestling, but he wouldn't know because he doesn't come to a wrestling class. Now at this point, they're making space and they're trying to see who's going to strike first. They're doing some hand fighting so they can open up their attacks. I always say that hand fighting is extremely important, and Cody actually gets wrist control, and then he uses an arm drag to go right to his single leg. Really nice motion by Cody here, and he's pulling Joe around. Joe decides he's going to be a little gutsy, however. From the single leg, he decides to try and roll out. Even though Cody still has the ankle controlled, Cody quick pushes him over and sets him up for a one-legged Boston Crab to get this ankle lock submission. Nice job by Cody. An interesting roll by Joe, but I appreciate Joe going for something new. Now, if you guys can't tell, Cody does like to wrestle, and Cody is also an MMA fighter. He fights very soon, just like Angel and just like Joey, who we've also had on the channel. They're both engaging in some stand-up here, and Cody's looking to try and wrestle his opponent down once again. He's going for the front head, and he's trying to snap Joe into a position. It didn't quite work there because Joe is pulling out, but that doesn't mean Cody's going to stop. He's now setting up a 2-on-1 on the shoulder, but Joe is posting off of Cody to stop him from moving in. Once they reset in the middle, Cody again is looking to grab for the snap. He has his left hand around the COTY, drags Joe to the mat, and now he gets a proper snap down. The snap down is an awesome position. I love using the front head from here to go for all my chokes. You won't be seeing any of that from Cody though. He's not that talented at jiu-jitsu. What you will see, however, is some more wrestling. He's trying to work around Joe, and he's putting his head in the armpit to try and break his position. Joe, however, stands up. However, Cody does a nice job on the stand-up. He grabs a single leg. Again, Joe is trying to get out of here, but he gets put in another Boston Crab. It's not looking good for Joe, but he doesn't get caught here. Instead, he gets caught in a submission known as the ankle lock and taps 5 times. Great job by Cody on letting go of that one. Hope to see more of things like that in the future. You definitely won't injure anyone like that. Now we start standing once again, but it is actually time to do something else. Instead, we get into my question of the day. Today, my question of the day is, what is your favorite position in jiu-jitsu? When I say favorite position, I mean any spot. I really like the front head, or I like lat side control, which we saw yesterday with my video between Angel and the black belt. If you want to see a black belt get smashed, make sure to watch that video. But if you want to tell me your favorite position, make sure to let me know in the comments below. I don't know if Joe thinks the mat smells really good, but he's spent so much of this round with his face in the mat trying to smell and figure out what is happening down there. He keeps getting snapped and he is trying to work up, but really, Cody just keeps dragging him down. And right as I say that, Joe is once again looking down at the mat. This is why you have to learn how to wrestle. If you can't wrestle, they're going to control your wrist, known as a wrist ride. Cody's been doing that a ton to Joe here. If you can wrist ride your opponent, it's going to be very hard for them to escape because they have so much pressure against them. And now Cody is looking to set up a Kimura. He sits on top of Joe's head, every man's favorite position. He rips out the Kimura, and then he's going to get the tap once again. Thankfully, however, it doesn't take 5 taps for Cody to let go this time. We would not want to see anybody injured at the gym. Now Cody's feeling pretty confident here. He doesn't like when I record him with a bigger guy or a higher belt, so he's feeling pretty good about going with another white belt. That's just the attitude you expect from an MMA fighter. Now they start standing again, and they're once again engaging in hand fighting from the wrestling position. Joe is trying to get something going. He even has a nice 2-on-1 on Cody. Cody is posting against the head, however, to create some space. This is the only bad part about wrestling when two guys are staying in front of each other, but you have to admit they've both been pretty active this whole time, so there's not much to worry about. Now since Cody's a fighter at this gym, that means he has really low cardio. He lets go of Joe and he does his standard ape walk. This is something Cody always does when he doesn't want to engage, and he just walks around waiting for them to engage. Their cardio tank does not last long on these guys. While I say that though, Cody decides to move in. He's grabbing an underhook on the left side, and now he's transitioning to an over grip. From here, it looks like he's looking for another snap because he has a right collar tie on Joe. He pushes into Joe, and Joe is not doing too much back, so Cody is now going to go in for another arm drag. As Joe comes forward, he grabs the arm drag, he grabs the single, and he's going to yank Joe right down to the mat once again. I like that he's going for this over grip on the neck. You can go for things such as guillotines from there, however that's not going to be Cody's thing. Instead, Cody is looking to sit over Joe once again, but from this sit over, he's going for the Americana. Now honestly, this hurts my elbow just to watch. He yanks this thing out immediately. He does not give Joe much time to tap before he already has to tap. It was a pretty quick rip, so that hurt my elbow just watching. Thankfully, again, Joe is not in any serious danger. He's just rolling with a wrestling white belt. And as we know, all wrestlers and all white belts are the safest guys to roll with in the gym. Now Cody's moving in here, and Joe looked for a quick little whizzer kick, but it didn't quite work because he didn't have a whizzer. He just went for the kick. Now Cody has another snap down on Joe. With this snap, Joe once again is just not having a great time. Cody's going to go behind him right away. However, he's not going to sit in this front head looking for any choke. He's going behind Joe because he's looking for control. Control is great. I love sitting in this position so you can just wrist ride your opponent and wait for them to make a mistake. Joe's doing a nice job about not going completely to his back and getting put in a chin drop or any other position. However, he's not doing a nice job with his left hand. If we look at his left hand, he's being controlled on the wrist once again. I point this out all the time that if you have your wrist captured, you have to be able to move it out. If you keep it stuck there, they're going to control you the entire round. Unfortunately, just that is happening in Joe right here. He's being controlled and he's on his belly. Jiu-jitsu is great if you're on your back because you have all these guards and all these attacks and whatnot, but that doesn't help you at all if you're stuck on your belly. Being a good wrestler is a great way to destroy someone if you can't let them roll to the back to establish all these guards. Cody's doing just that. He's controlling the wrist and he's controlling the ankle and he's keeping Joe flat on his stomach. Joe is attempting to work up back to his knees, but his wrist is just stuck here. If you can't get the wrist back, he's going to get mauled. Now Cody's looking for a half Nelson. It didn't work because Joe didn't allow it. He threw his arm down, but Cody's now going over the arm and he's looking for his choke. He spent enough time riding him out that he just decided he can move up to a higher position and set up the rear naked choke. Once he has the rear naked choke, he gets a quick tap on Joe. I would have liked to have seen some defense from Joe trying to peel the hand because Cody had the rear naked choke hand not in the best spot. You definitely could have peeled it, but I understand at this point in the round where it's near the end that you just want to get out of that position. They're starting in this wrestling spot once again, but the round is just about to end. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I like having white belts on the channel such as these two. They're always very interesting to watch, even if it's no gi or in gi, and when they're an MMA fighter and wrestler, it makes it even better. So again, if you liked the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, thank you to all my current patrons. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll have the next video out soon. Thanks for watching.